Midnight Movie Talk is live on this Tuesday night as we have a special show tonight. We are going to review the reviews of Avatar: The Way of Water. Let's start with my review. Today, the embargo broke. We can finally get into the reality of the situation. This film is not great, okay? Let's talk about my reaction. This is a perfect one to make that 240. I'm thinking in the old days. 280 character review here via Twitter, and it's everything you need to know about the film. Emotionally numbing and punishingly overlong, Avatar: The Way of Water plays like an even longer, soggier rerun of the first. Trading dragons for plesiosaurs follows a nearly identical story arc to the first. Any sense of wonder quickly dissipates, slogging its way to its interminable finale. 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. You guys, I love to do you guys guess my grade for a movie. you missed again. I mean, I wanted to have a higher grade than 5 out of 10, but it just has no emotional draw to it whatsoever. And shame on you, James Cameron, for making a film that is 3 hours and 12 minutes that could have been 2 hours tops. You have an extra 72 minutes in your film that do not need to be there. Think about that for a moment. 72 minutes that don't need to be in the film. That is a crime against cinema. And James Cameron has committed that crime with Avatar: The Way of Water. It is punishingly overlong. That will be your number one takeaway from this film. It is brutalizing in its length. We are going to review the reviews tonight. It's our little segment we do usually with social media. The reactions, the night of when we can't really talk about the whole film and blah, blah, blah. The studio will get angry. So this is a review of the reviews of Avatar: The Way of Water. Here we go. Let's get into it and see what we got. We have the latest Rotten Tomatoes score of 83%. So 17% of the reviews are saying it's rotten. 83% say fresh. Now, that does not speak to the score. Remember, the tomato meter does not mean that it has an 83% grade. It means 83% of the reviews that are posted on Rotten Tomatoes are positive. 17 are negative or rotten. Let's go through a few of them. I'm going to go to a few positive, then a few negative. Let's start with, right off the top, the newest ones. Katie Walsh, who is featured somewhere back here on one of the boxes. If The Way of Water was the last film Cameron ever made, it'd be appropriate. As all his cinematic obsessions coalesce within his gargantuan slice of mind-boggling spectacle presented with classical action-adventure storytelling. Doesn't say anything about the emotion, because there isn't any. 3.5 out of 4. Wow, Katie. Someone was generous with their score. Let's go to Wenlei Ma from news.com.au in Australia. The 3D visuals are undoubtedly cool, but it shouldn't be the only reason to see this film, but yes, it is. Good. Very nice review. We give that one an A. Good job. Nice and concise. Mick LaSalle, longtime critic for San Francisco Chronicle. On more than one occasion, we're told that The Way of Water has no beginning and no end. No kidding. 1 out of 4. Here we go, Mick. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the Avatar: Way of Water is hellaciously overrated club. It's exciting to have you as a member. Let's continue. Plot-wise, the movie is treading water, but that's fine because the water's lovely. It's CGI water. There's a really good comment. Let's go right to the Rottens. I hope it's here from Colin, whatever his name is, that writes for the one of the UK newspapers, for God's sake. Let me find it. Is it here? There it is. Robbie Collin, Daily Telegraph. Watching the film feels like being waterboarded with turquoise cement. What did I say the other night? I literally said this should be shown to prisoners at Gitmo, and you guys were like, oh, good waterboarding joke. And look who just did the exact same thing. There it is. Robbie Collin literally saying it feels like being waterboarded with turquoise cement. Stephanie Zakaric, I believe that's how you say it. I always see her from Time Magazine. The Way of Water is like the wave of the future rolling in, whether you like it or not. At 192 minutes, The Way of Water is less of a narrative film and more of an endless tech demo one might expect to endure in purgatory. Christopher McHell, you are amazing. That is an A+ review from Cineview. Wonderful. Overwritten, overwrought, overblown. I'm over it. I mean, it is not good, guys. I am so glad to have some backup here. I am very happy to have backup. This is a film that takes balls to review. And let me tell you why. Because the knee-jerk reaction is to say, oh, James Cameron's done it again. It's a visual masterpiece. Word salad. It is not good. I mean, I believe Colin called it terrible. Now, I don't know if it's terrible. I mean, 5 out of 10 is not good for me. But whatever expectations you had for this film, you need to lower, okay? Unless you are enamored with 3-hour and 12-minute CGI video game type movies with very little engagement from an emotional level. As I said in my longer review on Twitter today, and I'm saying here tonight, the number one issue with the film is that it is the same film that we saw before, only longer and only in water. That is it. It is the same story arc that we saw the first time. There is nothing new other than, oh, look, we're in water. That's not good enough. It's just not good enough. I just came out of Moon Age Daydream. I have seen this film now 4 times. This is the David Bowie documentary. There is more artistic merit, value, and soul engagement with the screen watching Moon Age Daydream than 1 second of Avatar: The Way of Water. I do like James Cameron. I need that to be stated. Know that. Today I said Aliens. I mean, Aliens is one of the, if not best, action films ever made, and we throw the word masterpiece around. We talked about it the other night. Don't use it. If you're going to use the word, you can use it with Aliens. You cannot use it with Avatar: The Way of Water. I'll tell you, after watching Avatar: The Way of Water, I don't know if we're ever going to get another Avatar. I mean, if I were Disney, as you know, 20th century is Disney now, I would really pay attention to what happens here at the box office. Now, it's going to have a big opening. No one's going to argue that. It's going to open at 185 plus, maybe gets to 200 million for a number of reasons. The number one reason it's going to do really well is there's a ton of hype around the movie. But the other reason is there's been nothing in multiplexes for 5 weeks since Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. That's the last time we had a major tentpole blockbuster film in the multiplex. So, as the next film up, we talk about this all the time, MMT. We've been doing this now for over 6 months. I tell you, the number one law of box office success is to have nothing in front of you. And that is exactly what Avatar has going into this weekend. It has had nothing for 5 weeks. Wakanda Forever is running out of steam. People are like, we need something else to see. They're going to go see Avatar. The word of mouth on this will not be great, okay? You see the reviews that are coming in here. They're going to go down even further. The audience score will be okay. It won't be fantastic. It won't be terrible. It'll be above average because, again, people are reviewing the film based on James Cameron, based on it's the sequel to Avatar. Oh, look at the visuals. Oh, let's forget that there's no emotional engagement whatsoever to the film. And let's just talk about, oh my God, look at the water, the 3D water. And I think Colin, again, Robbie Collin from the Telegraph or whatever the hell it is in England, he said, you know, it'd be more interesting than $400 million spent on CGI water, actual ocean footage. And I couldn't agree more. It's like, are they trying to set up, you've heard about this, the metaverse, right? Obviously. Oh, we're going to all live in the metaverse. I'll tell you what, if living in the metaverse is like Avatar: The Way of Water, keep me the hell out of the metaverse. Because I'm going to fall asleep in the metaverse and I'm going to drown inside of the CGI ocean. It is not good. The film is not a good film. You guys are going to think it's okay, but I'm telling you what, you're going to come back here on Thursday when you actually get to see it and you're going to say, it's not that good. Let's go to comments and then we're going to go to, I have a big story tonight talking about Patty Jenkins. Okay. We're going to discuss her thoughts. She has a reaction kind of tweet slash, longer form, I don't want to say essay, but it's close to it, about what happened with WW3 and what happened with the Star Wars thing that she was going to do and then she wasn't. Let's go to the comments here on this Tuesday night. James Cameron has prepared script for Avatar 6 and Avatar 4 has been shot. Okay, listen, Rick, it's nice if they've shot it. I'm just telling you that the interest level for Avatar 4, 3, and 4 is going to be much lower than this. This is just not a great film. Gore, I don't know if you're all in about this, but this film is just, I'm sorry. Rick, it's just underwhelming. That is the best way to put it. I'm going to be forthright with you guys. Not the biggest fan of the original. I mean, we've seen this story so many times. You guys have heard it. Avatar is Dances with Wolves, right? Is Pocahontas, is whatever you want to throw in there, okay? But at the end of the day, it's a film that is, especially this one, is just a complete and utter rerun of the first. And when I go to see a film, I'm looking for something that stokes my imagination, that gets my soul excited. And that's what I just got out of Moon Age Daydream for the 4th time. I got zero of that. None. I mean, literally not even like a second. I was half awake during this. I got a direct message from somebody today who I trust, who I value, their opinion, industry person, said they were falling asleep in Avatar Way of Water. I go, of course you were, because it is dull and it's overlong. Ugh. World's longest screensaver. Patrick, that's pretty good. I mean, it kind of is, right? Notice all these journos that do press junkets praising Avatar 2, Pandora, and back. Wasim, we've talked about it so many times. When you do a press junket, you cannot hammer the film. If you do, the studio will remove access for you to do the press junket. In other words, I go to see the press junket of Avatar Way of Water. I come out of it and I say, this is just flat. It's overlong. Not great. They are instantly going to send you an email or frankly just walk right up to you and say, you are off of the junket. You're not going to be talking to the stars. So remember, there are very few voices in this space you can trust. The majority of them are going to be sycophants because they are dependent on the studio access. I'm at the point now I do not care. I'm still going to get access. If I don't, we'll move on and I'll see it on Thursday when it comes out. I do not want to be beholden on the studios to say what I think I need to say in order to get that other invite, the next one, the one after that. No, that's not how we're going to do it. We're going to praise and or trash every film individually based on its own merits, not on what the filmmaker did before, not on what the filmmaker's doing in the future. This film right now. And Avatar: The Way of Water is not a great film. And that's, and the James Cameron fans are relentless. They're going to bully you. Go ahead. I don't care. They talk about comic book fans, but they're no better. Don't be tribal, where you're to the point where you're a fan of whoever it is, anything, where you are such a fan that you cannot disengage your fandom from reviewing and or evaluating the film. You have to be able to just leave it here and pick it up and put it back on when you go. You cannot carry it around beating the drum like you are a tribal leader. You can't do that. If you are, then you are disingenuous. You are not going to be good in this space. You have to be able to be neutral, objective, and go into it without an agenda. We have a lot of people in this space that have agendas that they have to, as you know, be shills. And when you have that situation, you're never going to get the truth out of them. You're only going to get accentuating the positives. You're going to get tailor-made quotes for movie posters like our friend at Fandango, who literally, I guarantee that's going to be on the poster. The one that, whatever the hell it was from the other night. It's like, oh, this was storytelling at its most pure form. Just like, what? And why are you listening to these people? I mean, we talk about it so many times. Let's do it again. Why are you listening to people who are shills? They carry no value. Their words have zero. They whatever they say doesn't matter because they're always going to accentuate positives or they're always going to say relentlessly upbeat stuff about things. And that makes them unreliable. And there's no reason for them to even speak about anything because their words have zero nutritional value. Zero. And there's a lot of people in the space that are that way. 3 hours of meh is kind of terrible. Patrick, that's the truth. The length is what punishes you here. The length makes it worse. It's like anything. Uh, it devalues over time, right? So, you could be enwrapped in totally whatever. Let's just say the stream. And all of a sudden the stream goes too long. God knows these do. Okay. These streams go on too long. But for a moment or two, you're into it. The longer it goes, you're like, get me the hell out of here. And that explains MMT in a nutshell. Come on, I get it. But as a filmmaker, you need to learn that less is more. And here, James Cameron gives us more is less. More film equals less in the end for you, the moviegoer, because you are definitely not wanting more. I read that somewhere saying, I can't wait for Avatar 3. For what? I mean, there's nothing. What are we going to do? Regenerate another villain and have him join Pandora? Here he comes. And now they're not in water, but they're in space. I mean, what are you going to do with this film? Aliens was 217, but remember, this is 312. Okay. So, Patrick, 217 versus 312. We're talking about 55 minutes of extra film that brings it down, pulls it onto its knees, and you're begging for this thing to end. It's just not good. I'm so sorry I have to tell you guys this, but it just isn't good. I'm sure it'll be big. Chris Gore, of course it's going to be big. It's a normie movie. I get it. It'll be big. It'll be huge. It'll make a lot of money. And we're excited about that. I want it to happen. I want this film to make a ton of money. But I do not think it's a good film. But I want it to succeed. So I'm just, I'm torn because the theatrical guy in me wants this to succeed. All right, let's get to Patty Jenkins speaking out on Wonder Woman 3. And then we'll go back to the comments about Avatar, whatever we want to talk about here on this Tuesday night. Let's get to what she had to say here. We pull up her reaction today regarding Rogue Squadron, and I believe we've got Wonder Woman 3 here too. Honestly, I'm reading this for the first time. I'm not one to talk about private career matters, but I will allow inaccuracies to continue. Here are the facts. I originally left Rogue Squadron after a long and productive development process when it became clear it couldn't happen soon enough, and I did not want to delay Wonder Woman 3 any further. When I did, Lucasfilm asked me to consider coming back to Squadron after WW3, which I was honored to do so I agreed. They made a new deal with me. In fact, I am still on it, and that project has been in active development ever since. I don't know if it'll happen or not. We never do until development process is complete. I look forward to its potential ahead. Now, when there started being backlash about Wonder Woman 3 not happening, the attractive clickbait false story was that it was me that killed or walked away started to spread. This is simply not true. I never walked away. I was open to considering anything asked of me. It was my understanding there was nothing I could do to move anything forward at this time. DC is obviously buried in changes they are having to make, so I understand these decisions are difficult right now. I do not want what has been a beautiful journey with Wonder Woman to land on a negative note. I have loved and been honored to do person who got to make 2 Wonder Woman films. She's an incredible character, living in and around her values, makes one a better person every day, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here's my take on what happened. She clearly sounds like she was, she served up her script. She said, here's the script for Wonder Woman 3. Clearly, Gunn and Safran watched Wonder Woman 84, which is one of, if not the worst CBM of all time. One of the worst scripts. It's an embarrassing script. It is unbelievable to me that they greenlit that script. That was my first reaction when I watched that on a screener link back when COVID was going on. They were sending us links for films, and I watched Wonder Woman 3 here on the giant TV, and I said to myself, this film is terrible. This screenplay is really bad. And the first reaction was, I can't believe that Warner Brothers said, let's make this film, because it makes no sense when you watch Wonder Woman 84. There's no redeeming qualities to it. I mean, how do you make a movie set in 1984 with one 80s song played in the back of a bar that wasn't even a big hit? Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Pleasure Zone, not Welcome to Pleasure Zone, Dome, whatever the hell it was called. That wasn't even a huge hit here in the States. I think it was bigger in the UK. But that was it. There was no other songs. Like, Captain Marvel has more 90s songs than Wonder Woman 84 has 80s songs. And Captain Marvel's not called Captain Marvel 1984, 1994, 95. It's not called that. So Patty Jenkins, after 84, if I'm Warner Brothers, and clearly Gunn has a sane mind, and good for Safran and Gunn here, they saw the same film and they said, there's no way in hell we're letting her make another one. And especially if she brings a script that looked anything like 84, you're like, there's no way, Patty, we're not doing this. Because we were burned by number 2, so we're going to go in a different direction. And maybe she did say, I want to stay on. But the reality is, if she came in with a script for Wonder Woman 3 that was something they did not want to do anything with, like literally Peter, Gunn and Safran are looking at this thing going, no way, like we don't even want to touch this film, then you just have to turn around and you say, listen, Patty, we appreciate what you've done for the last 2 films. I think we're going to go in a different direction here, because that's what needed to happen. Patty Jenkins delivered a very good Wonder Woman, okay? A very strong Wonder Woman. And then she followed it up with one of the worst CBMs of all time in Wonder Woman 84. So based on that track record, I can't trust you again for a 3, so you're out. I mean, that's the simple logic here. And I don't blame Gunn. I don't blame Safran. I think it's the right move. And, is it mean? It's Hollywood. How many times have we said this, guys? Hollywood is not nice. Hollywood is going to cut you off at the knees. Patty Jenkins got 2 films, and then she's moving on. We're moving on. We're going to go in a different direction. You had your chance. And be happy, and it sounds like she is. She wants to end it on a positive note, but ultimately it was the right decision. Warner Brothers and Gunn and Safran made the right decision by moving on from Patty Jenkins. There is no question in my mind, based solely on Wonder Woman 84. After you serve up that hot, flaming dumpster fire of a film, you are not getting another crack. It's over. You have lost your chances. I feel like the guy in the Mission Impossible trailer, it's over. He's telling Ethan Hunt, it's over. Because that's what I would tell to Patty Jenkins. It's over. All right, let's get to the comments about that. By the way, give me a like, because you know damn well that was 100% accurate. Everything I just said about Patty Jenkins is like, yep, that's right. Good job, Erick. You're totally right. Patty Jenkins could direct the 3rd, but not write the movie. The writing's terrible, Tayag 2003. Absolutely terrible. But the problem is, you have a filmmaker who's made the other 2. So even if you say, hey, go ahead and direct it, the problem is she's used to calling the shots, right? They clearly let her do whatever she wanted with Wonder Woman 84. So the problem is, with that mindset, when she steps onto the set for 3, even if she didn't write it, you're going to get a director who's going to go in there in Patty Jenkins and say, I don't know about this. Let's change this. And then Gunn and Safran are like, we just said you're going to direct. You're not going to change anything. So there's no way to proceed with Patty Jenkins, because she's going to have that reaction at some point during the movie where she's going to think she has the right call, and it's not the right call based on everything we saw in 84. So we can't even have her on the set. It's over. Again, Mission Impossible trailer. It's over. Done. So yeah, you can't have it. Wonder Woman 84 felt like it was set in Adam West Batman universe. Anything Adam West Batman universe better than 84. There's not one positive thing for Wonder Woman 84. My review for Wonder Woman 84 was your reaction to when you first saw Joker. Yeah, exactly. Which is what, Wasim? It is this. I came out of Joker and I said, I can't believe Warner Brothers let, what's his name? Oh my God, Joker. Yeah, make that film. Literally drawing a blank. And that's my reaction when you saw 84. I can't believe they let Patty Jenkins make that film. And that's exactly what it is. It's like, what the hell were you guys thinking? Unbelievable to me that is absolutely what happened. Wonder Woman 66 would be rad. Anything is better than 84. Anything at all. Let's do this too. I want to mention quickly on this. Tomorrow, Critics' Choice preview. Tomorrow, you're going to get Critics' Choice Awards nominations at about 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock East Coast. I'll have that for you on Twitter. We'll probably talk about that on Thursday night. Quickly on yesterday's Golden Globes. Overall, I think it's really what we expected across the board. The one thing that I was a little surprised at, as she said, did not do as well as I expected it to do. But I think the box office is hurting that film. Tomorrow, you've got 10 films that are they don't have to be in a genre. So as you guys know, with Golden Globes, you have the comedy, you have the musical, and then you have the drama. So you have to have 5 of each of those. With Critics' Choice, they can open it up to all kinds of films. I think you're going to see She Said back in that thing. But I think at the end of the day, you got Elvis, you got Top Gun Maverick. Those are the two biggies. Avatar's more than likely going to get a nomination, even though it's not deserving. It's going to get there on legacy. But again, we don't do things on legacy here on MMT. We do things on merit, not on legacy. So on merit, Avatar Way of Water has no business in the best films of the year. Zero. It should never be on that list. So we'll talk about Critics' Choice and a little bit more on Golden Globes. If you want to ask me a question, go ahead and hit me with that. We'll do that Thursday night as we have the Avatar reaction as well. But just wanted to mention tomorrow, Critics' Choice is coming out in the morning. Please watch Chris Pine's All the Old Knives. Chris Pine, I like a lot. Chris Pine, Krichop, I think he's a very good actor. I think he's an interesting, good-looking dude, right? He's got a sense of style. He was solid in Don't Worry, Darling. He looks like he's having fun in Dungeons and Dragons, even though we know that poster. Oh my God, that poster. Oh, hell no. But he looks like he's having fun. And I think he has that ability. He has that attitude, that cockiness that I really like. And I think Chris Pine, you saw him when he was Captain Kirk, right? I mean, when you watch him as Captain Kirk, Chris Pine's a superstar. Now, it hasn't translated for him at box office, right? At the box office, Chris Pine has not proven himself to be a draw. These days, it's kind of hard, man. I mean, a lot of people will have. Chris Hemsworth is not, once he stepped outside of Thor, right? Remember Black Hat? What the hell was that one called? Was it called Black Hat? The Michael Mann movie? That thing totally bombed. Chris Pine equals Quentin Tarantino's current favorite actor. Is that true? I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, Chris Pine's very interesting to me. Again, when I watch someone on the screen that keeps me engaged, that is Chris Pine. And he's a good looking dude. So that helps too. I think that he just has to continue to find the right roles, which is the story of Hollywood. Because if you aren't able to capture like he was with Captain Kirk, you have to be able to nail that. When those opportunities come, your agent has to put you in the right position to get those things. And I think Chris Pine, in some cases, has not made the best choice. I mean, Wonder Woman, it was probably good for his pocketbook, but Wonder Woman 84 was definitely not good for his career. I mean, that movie is the flaming dumpster fire. Yes, right here, you guys see it, Tar. I love Tar. You guys are going to get my top 10 films of the year here coming up in a few weeks, but I mean, I can't hide the fact that you guys know that Tar is going to be so far up that list. I'm not going to tell you where, but it's going to be so far up the list of the top 10 films of 2022, and I'm happy to see the screener up there. The DVDs here. Remember, the DVDs come out, right? I also put Empire Light up. You can't see it. It's over in the corner. Empire Light box is boring. Here's X. So I take the actual DVD out and then we stick it in. These are, by the way, these are not Blu-rays. These are just regular old DVDs. So I could actually these are boring though. The boxes are cool. So I've got those in front of me. Hell or High Water, yeah, it is a very good film. No question about it. Chris Pine, Ben Foster together are great. Pine hasn't had good luck though. Finest Hours bombed as well. Remember that one, Ken, from earlier this year, The Contractor? Not a good film. I mean, the editing on The Contractor, one of the worst edited films along with The Gray Man. You have two horrifically edited films. The Gray Man is horrifically edited because there's too many edits. It's out of control. The Contractor's edited terribly where he's coming down a ladder and then the next second he's on the ground. Like little things that you have to just feel. Whoever that director was did not have any idea what's going on with The Contractor. That movie did not do well. Chris Pine is not a box office draw. We know who he is. Certainly Film Twitter knows who he is. But if you asked random dude in a bar in Kansas City, Missouri, who Chris Pine is, they'll go, I have no idea who you're talking about. And then they say, oh, the guy from Star Trek. And the guy says, I still don't know what you're talking about. The guy from Wonder Woman. Nope, still don't know. That's the problem. Chris Pine doesn't have that signature, all-encompassing role that bring, like a Brad Pitt or a Tom Cruise or, all these people that had over the years. But movie stardom has changed, hasn't it? It's just not the same as it was. Now that we have 500,000 options at one time. Right now we're doing a live stream. You could do a million other things, and frankly, I'm shocked you're here, but I'm very happy you are. But there's a billion things. So the chance for you to rise above the noise, right? Even in acting, very hard because the attention span of the average person is so short now. It's never going to be the same way. Diana, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. What do you got a comment? Hit it. Oh, here it is. Got it. Do you think Paramount is doing its best to push Top Gun for Best Picture? Seems like the other studios, A24, doing a better job with their movies. That's a great question, Diana. Here we go. I think they are. They've had a lot of events. Now, one thing that I am privy to here in Los Angeles, and being on the email list, distribution list for the FYC events, I get to see pretty much all the events that are going on beyond like the select Academy events. Those are like the super high end stuff that they only invite Academy members to. But in general, I still have really good sources that will tell me about that stuff too. I know this. They have pushed Top Gun Maverick. CAA has had a huge party I was at a few weeks ago. They just had another Q&A on the Paramount lot the other night. They're doing screenings across town. Right now, there are screenings of pretty much every film that is up for awards somewhere in this city. We have multiple screening rooms. The studios have screening rooms, and then they also do those in theaters. They used to do a ton of them at the ArcLight, which is no longer there. But they do them at AMC Century City, Rodeo Screening Room, Wilshire Screening Room, and people go, the members of the Academy or Critics' Choice or Golden Globes, they go to watch the films and then, get excited about the FYC events. I think that Paramount's done a good job. We're still a little bit away. We're only in December. You've got to carry this momentum all the way through to, what is it, late February, March? What the hell's the date of the Oscars? It's long, right? It's like 3 more months, okay? So when you look at that, you have to extend that. And I think that's the issue that every studio has to deal with. You don't want your film to peak too early. But right now, Top Gun Maverick is in. There was a time where some people were like, Top Gun Maverick, I don't know if it's going to get a Best Picture nomination. It is. There's no question it is, okay? I called that from when I first came out of the films, that this is an awards film. So again, if you're here on MMT, you already know this stuff. Everyone else is playing catch up. Top Gun Maverick has and always will be an awards film. Just wait, it's coming. And when it happens and it gets its nomination, then it's on. Because on a preferential ballot, Diana, this film is going to do very well. So a preferential ballot sets up like this. You're going to get your 10 nominees that the Academy comes up with for Best Picture. You are going to rank them. So let's say you love Top Gun Maverick. That's number 1. The film you like the least for me would be Everything Everywhere All at Once. It would be number 10. Okay, unless The Whale got in, okay, number 1 for me would be Everything Everywhere All at Once. Fabelmans might actually be lower than that, but as you're up closer to the top, then you're going to get more points, especially if you have a whole bunch of number 1s right off the bat, you can win straight away. But the point is the more ballots you're near the top, then the better your film's going to do with a preferential ballot as they go through these rounds of elimination, okay? It's really complex, but bottom line is, if your film is in the top, like 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to do really well. Films like Everything Everywhere All at Once are going to be high and then low, and then middle, high, low, middle. Top Gun Maverick is going to be high. That is why Top Gun Maverick will beat Everything Everywhere All at Once on a preferential ballot all day, all night, every day, all year long. So that I think that Paramount knows that. Paramount is aware that they are in a good position. They're doing what they need to do. And frankly, there's not much more they can do other than to ask Tom Cruise to do more events. He's not doing them. I thought he would, but there's still time. Because when you bring Cruise in, then you're talking about this, oh my God, it's Tom Cruise. And even here in Hollywood, when you have a star of that magnitude that is at your event, people get even more excited. The other night I was at the Elvis party up in the Hollywood Hills, and there was Baz Luhrmann and the cinematographer Andy Walker and sound and those people. But Austin Butler wasn't. He was supposed to be there. He was scheduled to be there. But he didn't come because he was hosting SNL that night. It was on a Saturday. So what I'm getting at is the fact that without Austin Butler, there isn't that buzz. I mean, people are excited. It's cool. Baz Luhrmann's there. It's neat. All that. But when Austin Butler's there, the star, then everyone gets like next level like crazy. And if you have Tom Cruise walk into a Top Gun Maverick party, people are going to start fainting. I mean, even in Hollywood, people are like, that's a star, right? I mean, I've never met Tom Cruise. If I had a chance to meet Tom Cruise, I don't know. I would just be like, oh my God. I mean, you made a damn near action masterpiece with Top Gun Maverick, and I know you had a lot to do with the film, because he did. There's no question that he had a lot of say on that film. So that's what I just quickly mentioned. Then the next person is going to come jumping in. It's Tom Cruise. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. J.K. Simmons Physique critique. Alex, it's yours tonight for the super chat. I told you guys you're coming. We will do that. And we're talking about J.K. Simmons getting jacked in the gym And someone actually, this is a great one. We're going to do this in a minute. Someone said, one of the comments that I saw on Twitter when someone mentioned this, maybe you did, Alex. Oh, he's taking steroids, HGH. You don't need to take steroids or HGH to get big and jack. You have to go to the gym. You have to work hard. You have to clean your diet up. And you just have to do the work, okay? Are there people that take HGH? Sure. Are there people that have had help? No question. But to look like let's say Daniel Craig in Casino Royale, okay? When he comes out of the ocean, you're like, oh my God, like he looks great. That's a body you can do in a gym without any HGH. So I think when we look at this in a minute, I can tell you, I don't know. I don't think he did. I think he just is in shape. There's a lot of people that you don't see with their shirt off. I don't come on the show with my shirt off, but you guys know I'm in decent shape. But, just by looking at me right now, you'd be like, he's a guy in a football kit, in a soccer jersey. But no, I'm actually in pretty good shape because I go to the gym and work hard. But that's the thing I think with J.K. Simmons. You just didn't know. And then it's kind of like Ned Flanders, right? You guys have watched Simpsons. All of a sudden, Ned just rips off his top. He's like, I'm ripped, right? So as soon as he's shredded, and you're like, what the hell? Ned Flanders is jacked. Because under a shirt, you don't see it. I think that's the case with J.K. Simmons. We'll do it in a moment. The Elvis party was pretty cool. I mean, it would have been off the hook. God, I'm so old school. It'd have been off the chain, y'all, if Austin Butler was there, because I was very excited to see Austin Butler. He won Sunset Circle, which, as you guys know, I chair. Very excited about what a year we had. I'm telling you, when you look at our list of nominees and winners, I think you're going to go back and look at everybody else's and say, man, you know who got it right? Sunset Circle. You know who was first? Sunset Circle. Wow. But yeah, the party was cool. The house is amazing. Okay, so there's this house up in the hills. I'm not going to tell you what it's called, where it is. I don't want to do that because I don't need everybody showing up there. Gore knows where it is because we've been there. We've hung out there many times. You walk into this mansion, okay, and it's overlooking, the Hollywood Hills. You're looking down at Beverly Hills and all whatnot. When you go in and they have you go, okay, where's the movie? Like, where are they going to show this thing? So you walk in, beautiful, state-of-the-art, modern house. You hang a right and you go into a full-size theater. Like, no joke, like, not IMAX, but it is a big screen. It's not like some screening room you'd see like in, the rich guy's mansion. You see the chairs, this is a full-size screen. I walked in first time, I go, holy hell, this is like the size of a large cinema screen. And the gentleman who lives there is actually a sound mixer, and they mix films in that house. So they show the film, and then people come out into this mansion and open bar, food going around, and it's all these people. In fact, the other night we were there, and there was just like famous people every which way, and I'm just like, wow, because when you get up, that's who they invite. They invite all the bigwigs, and then me, stupid, sexy Flanders. Is that not what the Smosh? Oh yes, that's right. Okay. Let's do the physique critique. We're gonna get in trouble, Gore. I can't do it. I cannot tell you what the house is, the Schmosh house. Okay, here it is. Let's do J.K. Simmons ripped. I'm just gonna put J.K. Simmons ripped in, and there it is. Of course it is. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me put this in, and here we come. J.K. Simmons physique critique time, everybody. If you have not joined us for this segment, this is where we look at a famous person who got jacked for their role, and we will critique the physique. Zoom in. Okay, so there's J.K. Simmons in, can you guys see? Gold's Gym. I'm really good at spotting these things. Like, those things where they say, what's the difference between two photographs? Look in the back. Do you see it? Gold's Gym. So I think that's Gold's Gym. No, I do not want to subscribe. Please leave me alone. Okay, so first things first. He's got this. Okay, so he has this apparatus on. This comes from me going to the gym. It's called, I think it's a Schwarzenegger, came up with this thing. It's a bicep blaster kind of thing. You put it under. So do you see the metal thing going across the middle of him? So on each side is kind of curved up. So you put your arms there and it pushes your biceps forward. Okay. So that's why he looks even more jacked, is because he's got the bicep blaster kind of bar thing on that's hanging around his neck. So you can see he's got great vascularity. He's got to be, how old is he? Like 60 something here? But I mean, he's in really good shape. He's got big and powerful guns, it says here. How does he do that? Let's see what it says. He's 61 at this point when they took this. Okay, so he's getting ready for Terminator Genesis. And he looks, yeah, like I said, he looks great. And he says he does different workouts and this and that. I'm telling you guys, Physique critique right now, that's legit. Like, I don't think he's not taking anything. He's just in really good shape. He's in good shape. Hold on, I got to put this up. Physique critique. I didn't get a chance to put the name in, but you guys know that's J.K. Simmons. That's a great, Alex, good one tonight. So everyone who says like you need HGH, you don't. You can look like that. It's not like it's doable. It's totally doable. Most people look jack mid-lift. That's true, Kyle. I'm not gonna lie to you. Have I taken pictures like mid workout? I'm like, yeah, look at this. Not gonna lie, you get the pump, but you still have to get to that point. Like you can't go in there and not be in shape and get the pump. I mean, yeah, it is like a dream house. The house is amazing. Gore's aware of it. The what is it again? The Schmoss house. Henry Cavill on his way out. Is that what they're? What? No. Wait. Hold on. Who's saying that? Someone hit me in the comments. I did. Is he's back? What are we talking about? He's not going anywhere. Henry Cavill is going to get paid a fortune from Warner Brothers. I mean, that's the deal they came up with. That's why he's in. That's why he's in Black Adam, is because he's like, I held out for a ton of cash. And that's, yeah, Rick, I do. Leave me alone, Rick. Have I done that? Yes. But even not, okay, I'll send a picture of me non-pumped, and you guys will be like, okay, that's fine. You look pretty good. And that's the only reason we get away with, by the way, the Physique critique, is because I can back up what I talk about. Tar is a Blu-ray disc. Wait, does it? Did it? Oh my, hold on. Does it say Blu-ray? Oh shit, it does. My bad on that. Ken, I apologize. You're right. It is a Blu-ray disc. But X is not. So Focus is like, we'll send you a Blu-ray, but A24 is like, no, we're just going to send you the regular version. Empire of Light, I'm not sure what it is. It just showed up. But can I just say something? You know, we talked about this the other night. Empire of Light, it's unfortunate. This film isn't deserving the love it deserves. Now, listen, it's not a great film as far as the screenplay, but from the score to the cinematography to the performances, Empire Light is better than a lot of the films that everyone's rambling on and on about, including Everything Everywhere All at Once. Empire Light is a better constructed, calibrated film, and it's not as, exhausting as Everything Everywhere All at Once. But it's just not getting the love that it should. I'm just don't understand why. Is that because of the fact that it's directed by Sam Mendes? Because we're allowed to devalue certain directors, but we have to make sure that we lift up other directors? I don't like that mindset, right? I, again, only go by what I'm looking at on the screen. I don't care who directed it. I don't care what the pedigree is. I don't care their filmography. I don't care what, none of that matters. All that matters is the end result of what is on the screen. And what's on the screen in Empire of Light is better and classier than a lot of the films that we are talking about this year. I just don't think it's going to end up getting anything. It's unfortunate, but it just didn't get its fuse lit. Is it great? No. But is it better than Fabelmans? Yes. Is it better than The Whale? Yes. And yet no one's talking about Empire of Light. No, we can't talk about Empire of Light. I don't know, when did Sam Mendes become like chopped liver? Like, when did that happen? Think about Road to Perdition. I've never talked about Road to Perdition, but if you talk about, there's a film that if you want to use masterpiece, I'm totally fine with. Road to Perdition, American Beauty, for all that its issues that a lot of you have with it, American Beauty is a very strong film. But Road to Perdition, oh man, I mean, that score. Let's start there. Let's talk about Daniel Craig. I mean, you look at Daniel Craig in Road to Perdition, and you wonder how he became Bond. He became Bond through Road to Perdition, and through that British film. God, I'm thinking Candy. What am I thinking? The name is the Matthew Vaughn, pretty sure he directed. You know, that British film with Sienna Miller? Oh my God, hold on. It's gonna come to me. Hold on, Daniel Craig, give me a second. I'm gonna remember what it is. I've got to just absolutely do something here that I just thought of. We have to talk about Sienna Miller in something Candy. What the hell was it called? Give me a second. Hold on. It's going to come to me. Someone hit me in the comments. What was the name of the movie that got him Bond? It's Layer Cake. I knew it was some kind of sweet thing. Layer Cake. Okay, so Layer Cake is Daniel Craig. Is it Matthew Vaughn? I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, it is. It's Matthew Vaughn. Okay, wait till you see. Okay, listen, you've got to. If you have not watched If you have not watched Layer Cake and seen Sienna Miller, okay, course. Of course, it's like a hugely Googled thing. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can find the actual picture. It is like I can't. There's actually the picture I'm looking for. Let's just say that she is in bedroom attire. And when you watch Layer Cake, you're just like, "Oh my god, Sienna Miller." I mean, it's just wow. And there's a scene where she ends up being here. You go. Here's a good picture. Can you guys see that over there? There's her leg. I mean, the film. Oh my God, Sienna Miller and Layer Cake. Wow, thank you. You guys are on it. I knew you guys. I'm going. It was something like sweet, but this Layer Cake is very good, and Sienna Miller and Layer Cake. I mean, oh my God. I mean, it is just next level. It is next level. And then next level beyond that. But you look at Road to Perdition, you look at Layer Cake. Those are the films that got Daniel Craig 007. And I think we don't talk enough about Sam Mendes as one of our better directors. 1917, strong film, got him a lot of love. I don't like the emotional impact of 1917. Technically, it feels like just a techno exercise, right? It's one take, even though it's not. But it's shot to be it take place in real time, and I think that's to a detriment to the film because you end up looking for the edits, right? There's one. It's like that old Janet Jackson video. When I Think of You, was that the one that was like one take and you're waiting to find the edit? That's what I felt about 1917. I have not seen Climax. I've heard, I know Gore saw it, and I believe Gore really liked it. I love an artistic film, so I might try to sneak that in before the year's over because there's a lot of that was Daniel Craig's first movie. There's a couple of films I didn't get around to this year. One was Flux Gourmet. I wanted to see it because I love the Dress movie. Oh my God, why am I forgetting the Dress movie? In Fabric. In Fabric is Peter Strickland in Fabric. Oh, so I want to watch Flux Gourmet. Although I hear I've heard some mixed things about it. But I love the filmmaking. So when I find a director that I love, I want to go back and consume all their other stuff, right? It's just natural. So the good news is for some of these new directors is I don't have much to consume because I already saw the first. I can't wait for the second. That'd be Charlotte Wells. That would be Rose Glass. When Parker Finn Smile. When you see these young talents come up, you go, oh, I can't wait for what's next. But when you watch In Fabric, In Fabric is such a hell of a good movie. Climax, Gore, if he's still here, tell me. I know he saw it. I know he watched it, so I know that he had good things to say about it. But any film that takes artistic risks, I'm going to be in on. You look at tonight, going to see again for literally the fourth time, the Bowie doc, Moon Age Daydream. I'm like, oh my God, this is a film. This is what I want to see, not Avatar: Way of Water. I want to be excited by the artistic value of the film, not by the perceived artistic value of the film, which is Avatar: Way of Water. The artistic value of Moon Age Daydream far exceeds anything in Avatar 2. So these are the things I'm excited about, right? But I also don't mind films that are just straight up run-of-the-mill, good, really well-made blockbuster type films. You guys know I had fun with Thor: Love and Thunder. A lot of you didn't. I did. I think it's a fun film. It's just a throwaway goof Marvel film that is entertaining as hell. Okay. Did I say it is a best picture? No. Are there elements of it that make it far better than a lot of the Marvel films that we've seen this year? Certainly, I think it's the best Marvel film by far this year. Thor: Love and Thunder. Christian Bale alone makes it better, right? So so Gore liked Gaspar Noé's Climax. I need to watch it. 1917, let's go 10-minute warning on this. 10 minute on this Tuesday, and then we're back Thursday. 1917 is a good film, but hate to say it would have been better shot conventionally. Agree. I couldn't agree more. Patrick, you and I share the same brain sometimes. I literally I read your comments, and I go, you're Patrick, very smart. You're very smart. The one take aspect was kind of a party trick, 100%. Fighting with one hand behind your back show mastery of the craft. I agree, and it really was a detriment to the film. So I can't. I agree 100% with that. And it's a shame because when you turn around and you watch All Quiet on the Western Front, it's a better film because I think it's a better film because it isn't that trick. It isn't that one take, quote unquote. It is obviously the traditionally edits, and it has really strong cinematography. A lot of people love All Quiet on the Western Front. So I think it is an outside shot. It's going to get in for foreign language, for international feature, but there's still a shot. It sneaks in. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just saying it's not like it's totally unheard of. In fact, since we only have 10 minutes here, let's go to Awards Ace and let's go through the current Best Picture standings right now on awardsace.com. You guys know I run the site. So these are the top 10 right now as I see them. Give me 1 second. There's too many ads on my site. Go away, ads. I just want to see. I don't want to shop at Vons, although I do shop at Vons. Okay, here we go. So number one right now, I think if we were to do what film's going to win Oscar tonight, it's really close. It is between The Fabelmans and Top Gun Maverick. That's 1-2. Banshees of Inisherin, even though I am much lower on the film than a lot of people, I think the performances are very good. Screenplay I did not like at all, especially once we begin removing fingers. And out. So that didn't work for me at all. It took me totally out of the film. So Banshees is probably 3, though. Elvis, look at it here at 4. It's coming up. Everything Everywhere All at Once, I don't think it's going to get higher than that. I think we're looking at a mid film here as far as like a number 5. If we're going to look at where these eventually finish, I think a 5 would be about right because it's not going to be number 1, 2, or 3 on a lot of ballots. It's just too divisive. There's a lot of people who saw the same movie that I did. It is exhausting as hell, especially the back 20 minutes, 30 minutes of that film. Do not need to be there. The film is far better at 145 versus 225. Just like Avatar Way of Water. Much better at 2 hours versus 312. 72 minutes too long. Tar. Even though I would have Tar much higher, I still feel like it's a polarizing film. A lot of people say it's too long. It's mean. It's not emotionally, powerful. I'm like, who cares? The movie's great. I mean, I don't have to like cry over a film to think it's great. Tar's very good. It's I almost said my favorite movie, but it's way up there. I have Avatar still in there, obviously, because of what it is. It's James Cameron. It's going to be a huge box office. It's going to have that momentum last minute. She said still there, and the reason is at the end of the day, I don't even care what the box office is for She Said. When you look at the film about Harvey Weinstein in the town of Hollywood with Oscar voters, they are going to have She Said listed on their ballot. Not necessarily that high. That's why it's in the number 9 spot here. Because it's not going to win. I've dropped it considerably because it didn't even get a Golden Globes nomination. By the way, I told you Globes would be back, and look what happened. Everyone was talking about the Globes the other day. The Globes are never coming back. Remember those people? The Globes are never coming back. You guys stop. Stop. You guys are making yourself look silly. Same people that scream masterpiece for everything are the ones who said, the Globes are never coming back. Women Talking is such a great film. And I know that you're sitting here going, I haven't seen the film, but I don't even know if I want to see a movie called Women Talking. I get it. I didn't particularly want to see it. And then I saw Women Talking. And I go, it's so much better than its title. It should be called what, everybody? Hit me in the comments. You know what I told you when I came out of Women Talking. It should be called The Colony, because The Colony is a lot more interesting than Women Talking. But it's still a very strong film. And Sarah Polley deserves to be in the Best Director conversation. If you're talking about just pick one female director. Because yesterday, a lot of people were saying the Golden Globes did not have any female directors in their top 5. True. If there's one, and there is one, there's only one who truly deserved one of those spots. It's Sarah Polley. I've seen every other film that came out this year, directed by a woman, directed by a man, directed by anything. And I'm telling you now, there's one female director who deserved to be there, and her name is Sarah Polley, and it is a shame she wasn't. And also Todd Field. I mean, how do you miss Todd Field? That's like the year they didn't nominate Denis, right? How do you leave him off when you're talking about one of the best directed films of the year? You can't do that. These are things you cannot make mistakes on. Let's go back and look here. Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So as we get to hold on. Let's see. Awards people keep underestimating the senior academy members. Yeah, it's at their own to your own demise. If you're going to pick films, you better understand how academy voters think. And Top Gun Maverick's going to do well. Let's go down to the next level. I still have Black Panther up there because of legacy, because it is in the eyes of many the best MCU film of the year. But remember, when the first one gets all the nominations and wins that it did, the second one's going to have a much easier time. It's broken through the glass ceiling, right? So Black Panther's there. Then we're going to go down to Glass Onion. Very close. Babylon, flaming dumpster fire of a film, but based on subject, based on Damien Chazelle's resume, it's still in the mix. Woman King, the thing about Woman King is, and directed by a woman, the Woman King direction is not strong enough to warrant a Best Director. And that's the difference between the Woman King and Women Talking. We have women and women, woman and women. And Women Talking direction is far superior to the Woman King direction. It's not even close. And we have to be able to distinguish between those two things, right? We have to be able to, even if, let's say that the Woman King was a better film, but Woman Talking was better direction. You have to understand that there's a difference between film and direction. Typically, they go hand in hand, right? But occasionally, we're going to get a situation where you have a director that is stronger than the actual picture. And I've had situations like that. Even in the past few years, what's coming to mind? A director that's stronger than the film. Okay, Empire of Light, great example. Empire of Light, Sam Mendes' direction, stronger than Sam Mendes' screenplay. Sam Mendes should not be writing films, he should be directing them. I think when he's given a script, he's going to do a hell of a job. When he's asked to write something, Empire of Light's not a great film as far as the screenplay. RRR, look at RRR sitting there at the number 15 slot, only 5 away from getting in. Okay, 5. RRR could get there. And if it does, my God, people are going to be off, just literally losing their shit on Twitter that day, right? Because everybody wants to see that film get there. Because as you guys know, India said, you know what? We are not going to pick your film. We're going to pick the Last Picture Show. And you're like, what? You're going to do what? Galliot Productions, good to see you again. Would like to speak to your manager. Come on, speak to my manager. I'm here. You super chat, you're in. I don't care who you are. Even the haters out there. I love the haters. Yesterday I had that video that was fantastic. By the way, we're almost done here. Well, a few more minutes. I love the haters the other day. Like, oh, look at you saying that you can't use Masterpiece. What kind of person are you? And then I look at the profile picture and I go, yeah, you're that kind of person. Just the typical person that I don't need to say, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just like, oh God, there's another one of these people. These unremarkable people that are out there. But yeah, I'm sorry. You can't just call something a masterpiece. It just doesn't, it devalues the word. Don't do it. Please don't do it. It's just not right. The Batman feels coward. That U-turn on Wayne's parents. Same thing Matt Reeves did with War, Planet of the Apes. No war. Okay. I have issues with the Batman screenplay. I'm not going to argue with that. It's overlong, the film. Again, I'm not going to argue that either. I think that the back end of the film is not perfect, and I think the film needs to end with the woman getting picked out of there, right? There she goes on the gurney, helicopter pulling her up, and he's giving the speech. It's over. The last scene where you have Catwoman and Batman driving on the motorcycles, I don't think we need to do that. And I think the Joker is end credit. So that's what I'd change about Batman. I'd end the film on the helicopter hoist. And then I would go get rid of Batman, Catwoman, figure out a way to resolve. They resolved that inside the arena, didn't they? Kind of resolved it, right? So move that and then put Joker in the end credits. I don't know what his thinking was on that. And I told you guys I ran into him at the Armageddon time screening about a month and a half ago now. And I really wish I would have asked him that in a nice way. Did you ever think about sticking Joker in the end credits? I'd love to hear what his process was for that. Because if I was sitting in on a screening with that and I was giving him studio notes, I'd say, I think that we should do A, B, and C. It doesn't mean he's going to do it, but I think that makes the film better. If you just end it with the up it goes, there it goes into the helicopter. And it's a great speech. It's like, I'm vengeance or whatever the hell it is. It's been so long since I watched Batman again. I wouldn't mind watching the Batman again because that was the first film we did here on MMT. That was the first review we did. the morning that embargo broke, we were live here in the MMT studios so many months ago now, March, right? So 9 months ago. Oh my God, it's been 9 months. And I would probably revisit the Batman. In fact, I might go look for a screening of that. Again, I told you guys, they're doing these FYC screenings of all these films. So it's an opportunity to go see these films possibly for the last time on the big screen, anytime of recent, because once they move on, unless you're here at the New Beverly or something, Tarantino's place, they don't bring these films back, or it's going to be like 5 years or 10 years. So the last chance to see the Batman might be for me in the next couple of weeks. So I probably will go to see the Batman again on FYC screening, because that's the beauty of living in LA. We can see these films, like Tar. I'm going to see Tar, I think 2 days after Christmas. There's a screening down at Raleigh Studios, and Raleigh Studios has one of the best screening rooms in town. It is the Charlie Chaplin screening room. And yes, Charlie Chaplin made movies on Raleigh Studios lot. When you go into that screening room, it has Dolby Atmos. The screen is a really nice size. It's not massive, but it's good size, and the sound might be the best in the entire city. And I saw Moon Age Daydream there, and they're going to show Tar again. And I really want to see Tar for the second time on the big screen. I do not want to sit here and watch the Blu-ray they sent me. I don't. I want to watch it on the big screen, because when in doubt, you go with the big screen. You do not watch at home. Megan. Oh, God, we're going to have so much fun in January talking about Megan. I know friends have already seen it. I want to push it. I want to hold it until we get closer to the release date, because you know how it is. When we start talking about films like 3 weeks before they open, you guys are like, I don't want to talk about Megan. I don't know what, you're going to ruin the movie. What's there to ruin about Megan? I mean, Child's Play with a doll, a female doll that is creepy as hell. The movie looks like a total goof, but I have a feeling it's going to be fun as hell. In fact, they just did the premiere the other day. I'm like, what? During the premiere ahead of Christmas? Because what happens in this town is once Christmas hits, people take off for like 2 weeks. The whole rest, like starting like this week, starting Friday, people just leave. There's nothing that happens in this town from like the 15th all the way through to like the 5th of January. For like 3 weeks, everyone's like, we're out of here. So they held the Megan premiere already. But I'm going to see it closer to when it comes out. It comes out, what, the first week of January? So it's nice to at least have something that's kind of goofball and fun coming out here right off the bat. Megan equals a masterpiece. Maybe. I mean, for what it is, Puss in Boots 2, masterpiece. Yeah, those people that said that. Oh, yeah. It's so great. It's an animated film that's fine. It's not the best movie. Come on, guys. All right, we're almost done here. Last comments. Anybody in there? Let's do it. Calling it now. Megan will be a masterpiece. I mean, everyone seems to think that tonight. So maybe it is. Maybe it is. All right, guys, we're back here on Thursday. Thursday night, let's do your reaction to Avatar Way of Water, okay? All you, I'm just going to step aside and let you guys hit me with your reactions to Avatar Way of Water. We'll start a little after 9 o'clock, give you time, East Coast, to see it. Out here, it starts at like 3, and it's 3 hours and 12 minutes. So you got to give yourself time, and then you're going to come on here and give me your thoughts. You know what I think about the film. I do not think it's great, but it is what we need at the box office. We need to have theatrical going forward. We cannot lose theatrical. And I stated it the other night. I'm going to send the tweet out tomorrow. I'll give you a preview of it right now. Going forward, I will no longer be talking about Netflix prestige films until they get a legitimate theatrical component attached to their prestige films. And those are the films that should be theatrical. The awards films, but not just that, the Gray Mans of the world, going back to Glass Onion we saw for 1 week. Until Netflix says we are going to do theatrical with AMC, with Regal, with Cinemark, with the big chains, and we're going to leave our movies in theaters for 3 weeks minimum before they stream online, I will no longer discuss another Netflix prestige film ever again, because I believe theatrical is everything. And when you start to lose it, and it is hurting now, theatrical is in trouble. When you watch films like The Fabelmans, Tar, She Said, these prestige awards films are not doing the business they did before for a couple of reasons. The number one reason is the fact that the windows are non-existent anymore. A 14-day window is never going to work for somebody who's at home deciding if they want to go to the movies. But wait, hold on. We're going to have it for you in 2 weeks. If you just sit there, we'll give it to you on streaming. And Netflix, you have a very powerful role to play here. You are making some very expensive films. Notice I didn't say great films. Some very expensive films. And you're working with some very high cachet directors. And as such, you have a responsibility to theatrical to do it. And until you do, we are never talking about another Netflix film again here. It'll never happen. It's over. Again, back to the Mission Impossible trailer. It's over. And so is MMT. I'll see you guys back here on Thursday night. Good night. Live from Los Angeles. Erick Weber signing off. See you Thursday.